On the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Avina Lopez, file number 22-03530FY. Council appearance.
Brian Ring on behalf of the people.
Morning, Your Honor. Jared Austin appearing on behalf of Ms. Lopez. She is here to my right at council statement.
Okay, Ms. Lopez, today's the date set for your preliminary examination on this matter. Council, how we proceed?
At this time, Your Honor, I will be running the prelim.
Okay, any preliminary matters?
None on behalf of the people. Thank you, Your Honor.
Not any for you?
Nothing on behalf of Ms. Lopez.
Sounds good. You can call your first witness.
This time, people will call Nancy O'Reilly.
You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under the penalty of perjury.
I do.
Thank you. You can have a seat there.
Yes.
There's a microphone that's in front of you, and the lady behind you is my court recorder. She needs to take down everything that's being stated here today. So your responses must be loud and clear, and they must be verbal. Do you understand that?
I do.
Okay, so we can't do head nods, shakes, or mhm and ahas because we can't understand that and write that into the record. So
Yes,
if you
Your Honor.
respond that way, because it's natural, you'll hear us ask you if that's a yes or a no. If there's an objection from any of the attorneys, you would immediately stop responding. I'll make a ruling on the objection and I'll tell you if you can give that answer or not, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you're answering their questions, but you're responding, your response is for me. So it's not like at a jury trial where you'd be talking to the jury, you're talking to me and there's a glass right here.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's why you
So am I
wanna-
supposed to be facing you?
You don't have to, but
Okay, my bad.
your tone is, and
Okay.
your volume is really good, so I can hear what you're saying.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
But I just wanted to make sure that you understand that when you're responding, your responses so that I can hear you, okay?
Okay.
State your first and last name, spell both of them.
Nancy Oribe, NancyOrive.
Proceed, counsel.
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Uribe, back on November 13th of 2022, did you go to the Quickie convenience store?
I did.
And is that located at 4820 South Waverly Road?
It is.
Is that in the city of Lansing, County of Hingham, State of Michigan?
Yes, sir.
And prior to going there, did you receive any messages prior to going there?
Yes, I did.
And what were those messages?
They were from Avina Lopez and she was inviting me into a fight and then which I denied her and she got really angry and turned to more violence with a firearm and said that she was going to shoot me in my face.
And how do you know, who is Avina Lopez to you? How do you know her?
This girl with the orange hair,
Let the record reflect that
to
The
the
defendant has
left of you,
identified
I
her.
would say.
let the record reflect that the witness has identified the defendant.
Okay, objection to identification.
No objection, identification.
Identification is noted.
And who is, how do you know her?
I don't know her at all, actually. I was in a relationship for 18 years and I had left him 2 years ago and he befriended Avina about 6 months ago. And since then, Avina had demanded Richard to leave me alone, not talk to me no more, for my vehicle to leave his property. And because of that, she's become obsessed with me. And I do not know this lady at all.
Thank you.
Yes.
And so when you went to this Quickie convenience store, can you tell me about what happened?
I had seen her and I was coming out. No, actually, I didn't even go in the store. I was getting out of my car and she had seen me. She started calling me a bitch. Come here, bitch. And
Sorry, I'm gonna
go ahead.
interject. I'm gonna
Mhm.
interject
Yep.
because we have to do this in a question
no
and answer
problem.
format.
Mhm.
So And there are certain points that I want to make, so I'm just going to quickly interject at times.
Yes,
So
sir.
was she driving a vehicle?
Yes, she was.
What was she driving?
A black Hummer.
And was there anybody else with her?
Yes, there was. There was a Caucasian girl with her.
Okay, and
She was
so,
wearing a red shirt. I don't know exactly what her name was.
and you said you saw her when you got out of the vehicle, go into the store?
Yeah, I didn't even make it in the store because she pulled out a pink firearm on me.
And so were you when she pulled out a firearm, were you in your vehicle?
No, I was barely getting out of my car when when Richard's vehicle pulled up.
And you know that to be Richard's vehicle?
I know for a fact for it to be Richard's vehicle.
The black Hummer was Richard's vehicle?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
And Ms. Lopez was driving?
She was driving it for that day because it was her birthday and she begged him to have a vehicle to ride around town with, and being drunk and belligerent and doing cocaine and the things that she was doing that night.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna sustain the objection. It's not responsive.
And so when she pulled up, did she pull up with the driver's side? Was the driver's side facing you or?
No, the passenger side was facing me with her friend in it. So she actually had the firearm like in her friend's face, pointing towards me.
And was the window up or down?
The window was down.
And you said she showed you a firearm and pointed it at you?
And she did.
Can you describe that firearm, please?
Yeah, actually, I have a video too, if the courts would like to see it.
A video is not appropriate at this time. Thank you, though.
So it's pink and black.
And have you seen her with this firearm before?
I have never seen this lady again. As I stated, I do not know Miss Lopez. She's obsessed with me and my life and my ex.
And so when she pointed at that firearm at you, did she say anything to you?
She was threatening to shoot me, and I just ran.
And how did you feel when she was?
I felt very scared, intimidated. I thought that I was going to have a bullet put through my body like she was saying she was going to do.
Did you go home at that time?
I think I've made contact with your guys' officer, which found her in the vehicle and took her into custody when they found her, but I don't remember where I went exactly other than to talk to the officer.
That's fine. Did she have more than one gun, or did she just have the one firearm?
She just had the pink and black one that she threatened numerous times before I actually seen her to shoot me.
Jack, it's not responsive.
Objection sustained.
And did she leave immediately after threatening you with that firearm?
I'm assuming. I mean, I was so shooken up. I can't really recall what happened after that.
That's fair. No further questions this time, Your Honor.
Accept some clarifying question. You said that Ms. Lopez, you received a message from her directly?
Oh yeah.
How did you receive that? Was it through text message?
No, it was from Messenger, ma'am. Facebook
Facebook
Messenger.
Messenger,
So
okay.
apparently she was doing
Well,
some.
just answer my question.
Okay, sorry. I'm so sorry.
You can't give me
Yeah,
or
okay.
anybody information that we didn't ask for at this time,
Gotcha.
okay?
Mhm.
Okay. So you received the message, and when you said that she was inviting you into a fight, meaning to fight you
Yes.
should each other fight each other.
Yeah, to
Okay.
be technical, she kept saying, "Bitch, get in the field," which means fight. And I told her I did not want to fight with her.
Okay. Did you have prior communication with her before this?
I don't know Miss Lopez at all.
Okay, and then you referenced a video that you had on your phone. Is this a video of the alleged incident?
No, it's just her with the firearm, and then
okay.
yeah.
Got it. Okay. Cross-examination.
Thank you. Good morning. So this incident that you were talking about, what time of the day or evening was this occurring?
Well, I can check on the messages if you'd like really quick.
Well, I'm just asking from your own personal memory.
For my own personal memory, she started stalking me that day of her birthday. So, and it just happened within a period of, I want to say maybe 5, 6, 7 hours, just nonstop.
When you saw the
Texting me?
gun, what time of day was it when you said she pointed the gun at you?
That was in the evening, right before, I want to say midnight, about maybe 11 or so.
Okay. It was almost midnight, so it was dark out, obviously, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
but the gun is pink and black, so you can see it very well.
I was just asking you if it was dark
Okay.
out. And you said Miss Lopez was in a vehicle, and did I take it to mean that you were on foot?
I was just getting out of my car.
And where was your car parked at? A convenience store or where?
No, it wasn't in the convenience store. It was on the side. At that time that it was, there were some cars in there. And with me having a new Cadillac, I like to park as far away from people that I can. And she's noticed my vehicle, I guess, is what I'm assuming. I don't know, because I don't even know how she got my information.
I'm just
For us to
asking
be
you where
here
your
today,
car, well, I'm just
um,
asking you where your vehicle was parked. That was my only question.
That was, it was like parallel siding of Quickie. So it's like a known area for Quickie customers to park at.
Okay. And when you saw Miss Lopez in the vehicle, was she on the road? Was she driving through the parking lot or where?
She was by my vehicle.
And when you said she pointed the firearm, was the vehicle in motion or had she stopped?
It was stopped. She had come to a complete stop.
And did this occur kind of in front of the business or was it away from the business?
Again, as I stated, on the side of the building, they have a parking for Quickies customers that they use. So that's where I park at, because I have a brand new Cadillac and I don't like to have, people parking close to me or vice versa. So she was by my vehicle.
And you were talking about receiving a message from her through Facebook Messenger earlier. Approximately how long before did you receive that message until the time that you said you saw her with the gun?
Well, again, as I stated, it was her birthday, so she was just reaching out to me, feeling herself that day, telling me all kinds of stuff. So we were going back and forth. I guess, can you go back for your question again? I'm not
Yes.
understanding.
You received a message from her through Messenger, you said, correct?
Correct.
And then sometime after that, you said you saw her point a gun at you, correct?
Correct.
From the time you received that message till the time you said she pointed the gun at you, what period of time are we talking about? Minutes, hours?
Can I check my phone to see her messages?
I'm just asking if you know based on your personal
I would
memory.
say maybe the last message before I actually seen her was about 25 minutes.
Okay. And at any point after you had received those messages, you had not called the police, is that correct?
Calling a police for a person that I don't know for just
That wasn't my
contacting
question.
me.
My question was, after you received those messages, you did not call the police. Is
I
that
called the
correct?
police when a firearm was pulled out on me. That's
So-
when the police were contacted,
And so
along
my-
with all of the evidence that she was contacting me with before that, prior to.
So again, my question is a very simple one. After you received those text messages, you did not call the police. Is that correct? Yes or
Well,
no
after I
question?
received those messages, a firearm was pulled on me. So yes, I did call the police.
Prior to the firearm, you did not call the police. Is that correct?
25 minutes before that, no, I did not.
Or any time before that 25-minute period. Is that correct?
That is correct. I was
Okay.
with my boyfriend and we were cooking out. So that's probably about maybe a couple blocks from Quickie store.
Okay. And again, that wasn't my question.
Okay, well, I just gave you the information, sorry.
And when you said you saw her with the gun, you were by yourself at that point. Is that correct?
I was by myself and she had someone with her. That is correct.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all the questions I have.
Thank you, Rita.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Rive, so when you got that Facebook message prior to the incident, prior to being threatened with that gun, when you got that first Facebook message, who did it come from?
It came from Avina Lopez.
And how do you know that it was from Avina Lopez?
Because it was her first and last name on there with her photo and all of her histories of what she's ever posted on her news feed, I guess you would say.
Thank you. And
Yes.
when she pointed the gun at you, about how close was she to you?
probably about as close as you and I are right now.
And that light, that lot,
Maybe given, probably, maybe as far as that, no further than that. That's,
so about 5 to 10 feet, would you say?
I would say.
And so that parking lot at the Quickly, is it a lighted parking lot?
Depending on the day, most of the time, but yes, that day it was lighted.
And when Miss Lopez pulled up, was there a light on in the vehicle?
Was there a light on inside of the vehicle?
Inside the vehicle that she was in, yes.
Well, there's light that is reflected from the radio and the inside lights, but not
But like the dome light, what's the dome light on?
I can't recall.
No problem.
Again, I was really shooken up. I don't
Thank you.
remember anything about a light.
No further questions at the time, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Witness, be excused.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Uribe.
Thank you.
You can call your next witness.
Well, at this time, it's good rest, Your Honor.
Was the defense calling any witnesses today?
Or will I only have represented, Your Honor? Thank you.
You can proceed to argument.
Thank you. Your Honor, Ms. Uribe came in and testified that Ms. Lopez had sent her a Facebook message wanting to fight, and then proceeded to find her in the Quickly parking lot, which is located in Lansing, and saw her there and pulled a gun on her, said she was going to shoot her. She described this weapon as being pink and black in a lighted parking lot, so she was able to very clearly see it, Your Honor. She was able to identify Ms. Lopez as the one that pointed that gun at her and threatened to shoot her, Your Honor. She also testified that she was in fear for her life at that time, Your Honor, and then left. At this time, Your Honor, we had asked that the court bind it over on count 1. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. The court heard the testimony, the only witness that we've heard from today. Burden that people have to meet is probable cause, which is a relatively low standard. However, it is a standard that they must meet. Court is the sole determiner of credibility at this stage. And, Your Honor, I would just respectfully ask the court to deny the motion for bind over and dismiss the case at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lopez. The burden as stated by your attorney is squarely upon the prosecution today at the time of the examination to establish if they have sufficient evidence to support probable cause that a crime was committed and probable cause to charge you with the crime, in this case of assault with a dangerous weapon, also called felonious assault. At the time of trial, they will have to meet more or provide more evidence than what they have to provide today. Today, it's more than mere suspicion is what they need to establish that a crime was committed. And so the determination as to the credibility of a witness that's left to me today and whether or not there's enough evidence is a flexible standard, but it's based on the circumstances and the facts presented today at today's hearing. And so at the time of trial, the prosecution would have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you allegedly attempted to commit a battery on Ms. Uribe or did an act that would cause a reasonable person to fear or apprehend an imminent battery. A battery is a forceful or violent touching of a person or something closely connected to the person. Second, at trial, they'd have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you intended to either injure Ms. Uribe or to make Ms. Uribe reasonably fear an imminent battery. Third, at the time of trial, they'd have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you had the ability to commit a battery, appeared to have the ability, or thought that you had the ability. Fourth, at the time of trial, they'd have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the assault was committed with a dangerous weapon. And a dangerous weapon is any object that can be used in a way that is likely to cause serious physical injury or death. And so in this matter, we have testimony from Mr. Uribe, who alleges that on or about November 13, 2022, at the area of 4820 South Waverly, City of Lansing, Ingham County, State of Michigan, and at least within a 1 mile radius of that, making jurisdiction in this court appropriate, that she was located at the address of a quick convenience. She said prior to going to that, approximately 25 minutes to arriving there, she had received messages from a person she identified as Avina Lopez. She said she didn't know Avina Lopez, but that there was some relationship between Mr. Uribe's ex-boyfriend of 18 years and Ms. Uribe, and Ms. Lopez, and that Ms. Lopez had sent messages inviting her to engage in a fight with her. I think she's used the term of pull up in the field or something to that effect. And then shortly thereafter, she arrives to quick and convenient, and she says that the defendant arrived in Richard, that being Ms. Oribe's ex, his Hummer, his black Hummer, that she had another individual she identified as a Caucasian female in the vehicle with her, and that Ms. Lopez pulled out or pointed a pink firearm in her direction and threatened to shoot her, that she felt afraid and threatened for her life. And so a firearm being described as a pink firearm, that the firearm is considered a dangerous weapon under the statute. The court is satisfied, based on the testimony, that there is sufficient probable cause as to count one, assault with a dangerous weapon, that being a felonious assault. That would be bound over to the circuit court for a bind over date of March 29th. You do not need to appear in circuit court on March 29th, Ms. Lopez. That's the date that the circuit court's going to get this file from the district court. They'll set your next court date. It's going to be a pre-trial in circuit court. You and your attorney will be made aware of that, okay? Do you have any questions so far?
One thing on the 12th.
Is that a question?
No, that was kind of, but that, and when I, oh, yeah, that's it. Just my birthday.
Okay, sounds good. Gotcha. Sounds good. No questions at this time. Okay, so you were also scheduled for a PA 53 violation. Allegations were that you violated your bond by picking up a new action which is currently pending, I believe, in 54B. I'm going to dismiss the violation. You already have a pending matter as a result of that, and I don't need to hold another hearing for that purpose. Lastly, the bond that was set in here was at 3,010% with a no contact order.
I would like to speak on that, Judge, if you would hear.
You can address it.
Thank you, Judge. Judge, I would ask for her to be remanded today and that bond be revoked, or a substantial increase in that bond. At this point, that bond is woefully under what it should be, Your Honor. She's proven time and time again she can't abide by the court's order. There have been numerous PA 53 violations, as well as numerous new open cases in East Lansing at this point. Not only that, there is another victim of the same matter, which there's another case with, Your Honor, which we also heard testimony on a prior PA 53 violation where the court saw video of Ms. Lopez following her and saying that she had a gun and that she wasn't afraid to use it, Your Honor. At this time, Your Honor, and I would ask that she be remanded and order a substantial increase in bond. Thank you.
How many other pending matters does she have?
Including this one, I see 6 open. I believe one is a traffic matter, but I believe the other ones are stalking, intimidation, harassment.
In East Lansing?
There are 2 in East Lansing that I know of right now, I believe, and then I see a total of 6 open matters right now, Judge. But one is a traffic matter.
Okay, what are the other open matters?
Give me 1 second, Judge, and I will pull that.
She doesn't have another one before this court.
I'm gonna check on it right now, Judge. No, none of them are, they all say open on mine.
Sure.
apologize, that's my computer's being a little
No problem.
pulling in Addie. It's doing what Addie's computer likes to do.
You must be in the building.
The number will be a little bit less because this was a reissue case, so I didn't catch that. So there are three open. One is an aggravated stalking with Miss Uribe as the victim. The second one is a stalking with Miss Pavona, and then the third one is a witness intimidation, committing a crime threatening to kill or injure, again with Miss Uribe, Your Honor. As
That's
well.
3 in addition to this, you mean?
That is correct.
Oh.
And furthermore, there was even an incident out in the hallway this morning. I don't know if Miss
That was
Lopez
kinda weird.
caused that but there was an incident in the hallway this morning.
Counsel, whatever you get.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. I'm opposing people's motion. I think bond is appropriately set as it is. Yes, Ms. Lopez does have those pending cases. Those are pending matters. The allegations have been unproven at this point. The presumption accorded to Ms. Lopez is that she did not commit them. The previous PA 53 violation hearing that Mr. Ring referenced, the court heard testimony on, and the court dismissed that violation after hearing the testimony. There was insufficient proof for the people to meet their burden on that. Ms. Lopez is here. She's appearing in court. She's having contact with me. I have not heard anything to the contrary regarding her obligations with pretrial services. The other pending matters that she has been given a bond and appropriate bond conditions, which she has posted. I believe those are sufficient at this point, and I would ask the court to leave bond as it is currently set.
May I briefly respond to that, Your Honor? When Mr. Austin says insufficient proof as to that last PA 53 violation, to be clear, the victim was not the protected party in that. Judge found that the victim dismissed it because the victim was not the protected party. Judge didn't find insufficient proof that something had happened. She just found it. And I just wanted to refresh your memory on that, Judge. Thank you.
I was very clear. I distinctly remember why I dismissed it. It was because it was not the protected party. I also reminded Ms. Lopez at that time of her bond conditions, which included not engaging in any threatening or assaultive behavior, to which she responded and asked me if sending a text message would constitute violating that order. So it wasn't that I didn't have sufficient proof or evidence. I was trying to throw her a bone. Told her to go get a job. Did you get a job?
I actually have been working with my sister.
Oh,
And
so
I
you
paid
didn't
up
go
all
get
my,
a job.
and I paid
I'm
up
gonna
all
grant
my,
the request to revoke the bond. Shouldn't be remanded into custody on a new bond.
can I show at least my recording that they called my phone? Her and Richard called my phone. Like, how do I not be able to say anything when they just called my phone? And I showed the East Lansing Police Department has the recording of what I told them for my bond. Jaden, you know, please, bro. Like, if you can look at the East Lansing police report that I
I'm
just.
not gonna look at any East Lansing police reports. What I do have here is that since the time that this case has been at least reissued, there's been multiple allegations of you engaging in the threatening behavior which involved the use of a firearm, to which you explained to me at one hearing what a blick was. And so I have a concern about the public safety as it relates to your ability
Get
to
an
follow
easel.
the court order.
Okay, but my kids are out. I have three
But are
kids,
you-
but I have 3 kids out there that
But
I
are
need
you
to tell
listening?
her to let.
But are you listening to me?
Yes, I'm listening.
I'll give you an
Yes.
opportunity to talk.
I don't need to talk. I just need to tell her about my kids.
Well,
I
I'll
don't
give you an
really-
opportunity to do that when I'm not talking. How about that?
That's fine. I'm not.
Okay,
trying
we
to
ain't,
be
we ain't
rude.
in these streets.
I'm not trying to. be
You're in
rude.
my court. Quiet your mouth. So the reason why the bond is being revoked and you're going to be released a new bond or issued a new bond is because of the continued violations or allegations of violations of those bond conditions. I didn't proceed on the bond violation on this one today because I didn't find it meaningful because you have pending actions. It sounds like you have multitude of pending action, all of them engage alleging allegations of threatening or assaultive or stalking type behavior. The original bond clearly was not enough to send the message to you as to how you are to proceed in this matter, which was 3,010%. The bond will be reset. 7,000 cash surety with GPS tether and victim notification.
Well,
What, didn't I tell you to quiet your mouth?
oh.
Oh, you
were-
thought this was a
No, I thought you were
negotiation?
done.
Bye.
I thought you were done talking. Hey, you know,
The additional matters for the record.
Nothing further on behalf of people. Thank you, Your Honor.
Nothing further about Ms. Lopez, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you.